Hey guys, it's Tobiana, and I'm just here releasing just a mini video that has me painting all these little fruits that I did for one of my homework assignments. So I'm starting out with a peach, and again, this is just a super fast, not even really a tutorial, more of a watch me work. But as you saw in there, I used a gradient tool to kind of round out that peach to begin with, and then now I'm going in with erasing into the shadows and then adding highlights and then finally adding my shading into it. While I was working on this, I did notice that it was starting to look flat, so I kept trying to put more detail into it, and it was starting to look just really flat and weird. So in a minute here I'm going to go in with a really soft brush and then an eraser to really make that pop more with shading. Now the finished product for these ends up being really small because I didn't need them big for the final project. It was primarily text and these were just accents to it. So I'm really putting more detail into these than I need to, but I knew I was going to do this little video, so I thought I'd do that. And then I'm just adding the leaf onto the peach to make it a little more obvious what this is. And I also plan on doing leaves on the others as well. What I just did there was I cheated on the shadow. I duplicated the leaf underneath it so that it would have the same shape for the shadow and then stretched it to look more like a shadow. Yeah. The second one that I did was a pear. For that one I started off with a pear shape and then went in with a kind of dark brown and green, and I used the scatter function on the brushes to give it more of a kind of pocky texture to it, because pears don't really have the smoothest texture. And I was experiencing some lag, so I was taking advantage of the Gaussian filter rather than using the blur tool. And that was working actually pretty well for me. It was a little quicker and I experienced less lag, so that was cool. And then I'm just gonna come in here and push the shadows a little bit more, add a bruise, add the stems. And I'm looking at this guy and it's just seeming really plain in comparison to the peach. So I decided to go in and add a bite mark in there. Just kind of rough. Again, this is going to end up being a very small version, but I mostly used the overlay and the multiply functions for the shading for this guy, for the bite marks. And I did have some reference in there, because, you gotta have some reference. And then just throw in the leaves, add in some hot spots for the leaves, and the shading, just push that a little bit more to give it that final finished look. And I think I do add a shadow underneath that leaf once I finish. I spent way more time on that leaf than I should have, but it was fun. And again, using that duplicate function and dropping the saturation down on that. And then I plan on using these, or I did use those as bullets, so I did keep them relatively the same. And that's kind of all I got in me tonight, so I'm gonna end this here and I'll upload the other fruits on another day. You guys have a great evening, and we'll upload some more videos here soon. Have a great night, guys.